So, yeah, it's hard to sell.
How does Jesus see things?
Yeah, and also who does Jesus love, and who's Jesus willing to die for?
Who does he die for? Who does he love? And
Black people.
That's not in the Bible. They had slaves in the Bible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you know, and I kind of go back to just thinking about slaves in the Bible. You know, I think that's one of the complex things, is that people aren't equipped to think critically about the Bible and critically about what Paul was talking about and the concessions that Paul was making in his own culture.
You're not saying that that's part of God's dream for us to have slaves?
Yeah, definitely not. But I think Paul was a pastor, and I think Jesus was a prophet. And so I think Paul was trying to keep the peace, maintain some semblance of unity. Usually unity, though, it comes at the cost to the people who are oppressed in that situation. Usually, you know, whenever we say, oh, we're all unified, it usually means somebody doesn't have a voice.
Make it work.
Yeah, unity should look like conflict, because churches that truly do have unity, where everybody has a voice, where everyone has a say, where everyone's culture gets to participate, there should be conflict all the time.
That sounds like redistribution of power. That doesn't sound doesn't help you win. It's not part of our culture.
No, yeah, it doesn't help you win in the way that Americans think about winning, but it certainly helps you win in terms of the gospel, because if you look at the early church was at its most dynamic and explosive in terms of being real and drawing people in when they were saying everyone has a seat at the table of God. It's when the hierarchy started to come into play, and when some people, like people who weren't willing to get circumcised, started getting less of a voice, less power. That's when you start to see so much conflict in the church, that they're so caught up in their conflict that they're not actually spreading the message of the gospel. And so nowadays, I think if you are a pastor or a leader or someone who's serious about faith, and you aren't thinking about this redistribution of power, you're already a dinosaur in the U.S., because the fact of the matter is the parts of the U.S. that are growing are people who don't have power, who need to see that their faith addresses injustice and isn't just some like warm and fuzzy, you know, Bible study that has nothing to do with the fact that they are undocumented, or that they are on welfare and don't have any opportunity to get a job, or the fact that
if they work hard enough, they could.
If they work hard enough, yeah. Or, you know, that they've been incarcerated and now no one will hire them for racial reasons, because white men who have been incarcerated still get hired, but not black men. And so if the faith that we're presenting to people is a faith that doesn't address any of those issues, the church is no longer relevant.